Artlist.io. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down.
Music licensing reimagined.
Watch the game change, yeah.
Artlist.io.
Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. I do not gamble, but bet on me. Tell them that's like, yeah, it's still of it. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it on lock. Go against me, that's a long shot. Cause I kinda win.
Music licensing reimagined.
Don't stop. Who do you feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while the option. Taking no else, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. I'm running the game now. Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in the sports chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. And we have a ball game going right now, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Washington Commanders playing the Atlanta Falcons. It's in overtime. We are picking it up as it goes. We are it's 2nd and 6 at the Falcons 30 with 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Daniels back to pass. Throws it out to the running back. Got the first down. Steps out of bounds at the 18. So it's 1st and 10. Now, the rules in overtime this year is the team with the ball, if they score a touchdown, the game is over. If they kick a field goal, the other team can get the ball and either tie it or go for the win. They line up in the shotgun, 2 backs. 1 back goes in motion. It's a pass out. We got 4 yards to the 14. So it's 2nd down and 6. Time is ticking. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. They're going single wide. Nope, they're going in the shotgun. 3 wideouts to the left, tight end on the right, back next to the quarterback. Design run for Jaden Daniels. He gets 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. With this win, the Commanders will clinch the final playoff spots. And the Falcons will be a game back of the Buccaneers in the the NFC South. That is the importance of this game right now. 1st and goal at the 8. 5 wide. Daniels keep the ball. Another design run. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd and goal. 4 minutes to go. They're huddling up. Well, the Falcons had a 17-7 lead. The Commanders came back to score 17 unanswered. The Falcons scored in the final 2 minutes to tie the game, and now we're in overtime. Second and goal. 2 receivers on the right, 2 tight ends on the left, and the back behind them. Daniels the pass. Daniels running. He gets to the 3-yard line. He tried to take it in himself. He's bouncing around like a pinball. So now it's third and goal at around the 3-yard line. This is going to be interesting. Are they going to go for it on fourth down? I doubt it. They'll take the points and hope their defense hold on. Or are they at the 2? Let me see. Look like he's at the 2-yard line, but it's third and goal. What a game. This is a good game, guys. This is a very good game. Washington takes a timeout as the game at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. The play clock ran down. So now they're going to talk it over. Third and goal at the 2. Are they staying on? Yeah, they're staying on. A lot of things happened this week, this Sunday especially. A lot of good games, record-breaking days for several people. We'll have that discussion right after this game right here. But, you know, we got 2 rookie quarterbacks playing. Jayden Daniels for the Commanders, the Heisman Trophy winner last year, and Michael Penix Jr., who came out of Washington, came out and played. Realist, what's going on? So we got third and goal at the 2 minutes and 45 seconds in overtime. If they score this touchdown, the game is over. So this is a big play. Receiver in motion. Daniels back to pass. Did he catch it? Did he catch it? They called it a touchdown. We have to wait and see if they confirm the touchdown. If the touchdown is confirmed, the Washington Commanders will clinch a playoff spot. Everybody's waiting. Everybody's standing on the sideline as we review it. It looks like a catch to me, but I am not the referee in New York City. That's who makes the final call. Because to me, it's clearly a catch. Yes, it is confirmed. The Commanders win in overtime, 30-24. And they clinch a playoff spot. And Atlanta is now 1 game back of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the NFC South playoff. What a game, right? It's a lot, but it was a good game by both quarterbacks. I was kind of iffy about Michael Penix Jr., but he did what he had to do, and he kept his team in the game. The problem was in overtime, they never got the ball back. So we can't blame Michael Penix for this loss. For the Bucs, he did everything he needed to do, except bring home the win per se. I'll tell you one thing, this might be Kirk Cousins' last time in an Atlanta Falcons uniform. That's how well I think he played today. I mean, his passes was a little inconsistent, but they were better than what Kirk Cousins was doing for the last 2 months. So we only have 1 playoff spot in the NFC, and like I said, that's the NFC South. With the win, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 18, they can clinch the division. They need the Falcons need a win and the Buccaneers loss in order to get in. That's as simple as that. But we'll start this week off with us. Congratulations in order for Saquon Barkley as Saquon Barkley has officially rushed for over 2,000 yards. He has 2,005 exactly. As the Philadelphia Eagles, they defeat is a kind word. They defeat the Dallas Cowboys 41-7. He ran the ball for 167 yards. And with that, he needs to gain exactly 101 yards to break the all-time single season record set by Eric Dickerson 40 years ago at 2,105. So that's, and they clinched, and the Eagles clinched, finally, they clinched the NFC East. So they will be the second seed no matter what. And if it's looking the way it's looking, they will be playing the Commanders in Philadelphia the first week in the playoffs, the first weekend of the playoffs. Other than that, we had a tight end set a record. The Raiders, Brock Bowers, he set us a rookie receiving yards mark. That was at 1,076 yards. That was set by Mike Dicker about 60 years ago, 1963. He has 1,144 yards. So congratulations to him. But as we go along through this weekend, we see everything is setting up, right? We see in the AFC, we know that Buffalo is the 2 seed. The Chiefs are the 1 seed. We're waiting to see who's going to win the AFC North. The Ravens are in control of that. We know in the AFC South, the Texans won. They won their division. They clinched their division. We're waiting to see if Denver clinches the final AFC spot as they play Kansas City Sunday at 4:25. But in all reality, Kansas City doesn't have nothing to play for. So we'll see if they're going to play their regulars, Patrick Mahomes and guys like that. So that's the only position, that's the only spot in the AFC that's left. If not, you have Cincinnati and the Dolphins trying to pursue that same position, but they need some help. But since the Denver Broncos, all they have to do is win and they're in. I'll explain that going through the week as we go on. You know, and like I said, we already discussed the NFC East. But I want to talk about, as we finish up the football week, well, tomorrow's the Lions and the 49ers. The Lions got to win to keep their first place position in the NFC, not only in the NFC North, but in the whole NFC conference. But I want to talk about a situation that happened in the NBA. Okay. So the Sacramento Kings coach Mike Brown was fired. He was fired after being he was the coach of the year 2 years ago. He got his team to the playoffs 2 years in a row. And they're in a 3-game losing streak now. They're 13-18, but anybody that's following the NBA, they understand that, you know, the league is, a lot of teams are hovering around the 500 mark. But in this particular situation, I believe he was fired because he was, you know, he talked about his star player not being in the right position on defense to stop a game winning play. And, you know, he went up to the podium, the post game, and he said what he said. He went to work. He went to the practice the next day, spoke to that same player. And before they went down to Los Angeles to play the Lakers, he was fired. This was a couple of days ago. He was fired. My thing is this, right? I don't think you can actually coach the professional players anymore. What do I mean? I mean, if you paying a man hundreds of millions of dollars, what does he have to listen to you for? If you that coach, you in harm's way. So how if I tell you I'm your boss and I'm telling you, listen, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, then you telling me like, yo, I'm not doing that because A, B, and C. What is the point of me being in a managerial position if you're gonna tell me I don't have to do it, right? Uh, it's amazing how much the money has changed people's position. First of all, when the player makes more than the manager or the coach, what I'm listening to you for, right? You know that money don't make people, it don't change people. It enhances their attitudes and their situations. So for that man to go up there and get fired because of that, oh, that's nice. Somebody getting proposed to at the Commanders' victory. A player is proposing to his fiance. That's what's up. Congratulations. Somebody named Reeves, and I guess she said yes. So it's always a different story, right? But this is the funny part about it, right? Even now in college basketball, these guys are getting paid now. College basketball, college football, the NIL is making these people get paid. So what is the positioning for the people that's being the coaches, right? How could you tell me something? I make $1 million, I'm not listening to you. What I'm gonna do? Kick you off the team? But what if you the star of the team, right? What if you a one and done guy? One and done is when in college basketball is when you play for that freshman year and then you automatically put yourself into the NBA draft. So what I'm saying is it's going to be hard for people to be coached. If you're not being coached like in high school or AAU predicaments, you may not get a grasp of understanding of the game of basketball. Right? Now we all know if we have a 3-point lead and we know that we're not allowing nobody to shoot a three. We supposed to be up by the 3-point line. We shouldn't be lagging in the post or lagging in the paint just because somebody's going to get a 2 point. We don't care if you get 2 points. We're up by 3. So the fact that De'Aaron Fox was out of position, the fact that he ran out there, fell for a head fake, grabbed the man made the 3-point play and got fouled. That cost them the game. So that's what the coach was saying. Like, listen, my guy was out of position. I understand he's the star of the team, but we all need to be in the right places at the right time to get the right results. And the man lost his job for that. Now De'Aaron Fox comes back and says, well, I don't control things. I'm like, what do you mean you don't control things? We already understand that the $100 million player is going to control whatever he wants. If he don't want to play, he ain't going to play. If he don't want that coach, we're going to get rid of that coach. That's the way the NBA is now. This ain't like in the 90s when you could say, you know what, we not playing. Well, we just going to play the game or whatever the case. This is not those days. With money comes responsibility. And shout out to my guy, Realist. That money is supposed to hold you accountable, but it doesn't. If you the star of the team, you got to hold yourself as a leader of the team. Besides the coach, you the leader of the players. So you got to hold yourself accountable. We got like, yo, that's my bad. I did mess that up. You know what I mean? But they don't do none of that. They cry, they pout. They sit on the bench when they don't want to play. Like, I don't think these guys love the game no more. I think they love the money, but they don't love the game. And they only play 82 games. Some of them don't even play 82 games, but getting hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not the point of me counting their pockets, everybody. Please don't take that as what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't design, like, if we trying to play winning basketball, I'm the one that's watching you guys perform. I'm the coach. I'm watching you guys do the things that you need to do. right? All right, you out of position. You out of position. Yo, swing the ball. You know, get the mismatch in the post. Screen better so he could take that 20 footer that's free. You the guy that sees all of the things that's happening. You seeing what's going on in practice, because we all know when you practice something, if it's a routine, you fall into the routine. So you may not be able to get back on defense the way you're supposed to. You may not be able to get around the screen the way you're supposed to. You may not, you may be slagging off a little bit too far in the paint and leave the 3 point guys open, especially when that's all they do is shoot threes. We need to be hands on, man on, right? But when you making this money, it's like, I think I could do whatever I want to do. So I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. And that's wrong, because you are putting this man in position to fail, right? Because here's the real deal: when they get the wins, it don't go to the coach; it goes to the players. But when they start to lose, it goes to the coach. How do I know? Because the man got fired because the man was out of position. So Mike Brown lost his job. Now, if you go around and listen to some of the interviews, like Mike Malone of the coach of the Denver Nuggets, he said, "I understand why that happened. I work for these people. These people just they don't cater to they don't deal with the managers and the coaches the way they're supposed to." I'm paraphrasing, but they don't understand what it is, and that's the thing that we have to understand. When you getting that substantial amount of money, you got to deal with a lot of egos. The coaches have to deal with a lot of egos. They don't have the time to deal with the egos because you got 12 other players, or in football you got 52 other players to worry about. So how can I worry about this one when it's a team collaboration? Now, if it's a team, it's the star of the team, it's even worse, because if I don't check him, the other players is going to follow him. So I'm in a no-win situation. Now, if I do the right thing, if I check the dude, now I turn around and say, you know what? I don't want this dude as my coach no more. Yeah, more money, more, more money, more complications. But you need to be instructed in what you got to do in order to make the right plays. That's what the coaches are for. I'm calling the play. I need you to run this right. We can get the right results. We all win. But if you don't run the play correctly, and you out of bounds, you out of position, that falls on everybody. It's gonna fall on me, but I'm gonna say exactly what happened. Yo, Willis was supposed to be in the corner. Don't move, Willis. I need you to just stay in front of him. If he move, go with him. But B, stay in front of him so that way he don't get a clear shot of the basket. And if you out of position, he gets a clear shot. That's my fault too. No, I told you to be in position. But because Willis would make more money than me, because he got that big contract, you know what? I don't want you to coach me no more. You was too hard. You was too harsh about my credit. You was too harsh on the criticism. Now I lost a job. Now you got somebody that's going to cater to you because they already seen how much power that the management has given you. Right? It's not about the inmates running the asylum. It's just the fact that these guys are making money. I have to get their best results. So I need to cater to them because I'm looking for the best results. Because if they win, the $100 million don't look nothing to my $10 billion that I go when we win the championship or we make the playoffs or the revenues or whatever it is that we making the team is making their money on. So I'm just saying, there's a problem. There's a reason why the basketball rating was down before Christmas. Christmas, they did a good job. They had great games. Those 5 games were awesome. Most of them came down to like the final possessions of the game. But at the end of the day, when you have too many people that's getting power that they should not have, it's gonna compromise your product. And that's what's happening now, because you got people shooting threes. Nobody's interested in, well, let me not say nobody's interested in threes. It just makes the game, it's not a competitive game, because if you shooting 53s and you making 15 of 50, that's not a good percentage. Basketball is supposed to be to put the ball in the basket. the highest percentage of making it is being close to the basket. But because they have this new analytics that threes is better than twos, which they are in math, but in real life, you got to make those shots. There's people out here pulling up from half court, 30 feet out. You're not making this game interesting. You're not making this game fun. So what are you? So now look at the results of that. Y'all already cheated the people out of the All-Star weekend. Now they're changing the concept of the All-Star weekend. We have to sit here and go through a whole new set of All-Star weekend situations, right? They already added a tournament within the season, right? They just finished that NBA Cup and the Milwaukee Bucks won. Why? Because the ratings were so down that they felt like they needed to put another gimmick in there to keep up with the other sports. But y'all watering down the sport. And now that the coaches ain't even able to coach the players, how is the product going to be any good when nobody's taking instructions the way that they're supposed to take it? Because you make more than the coach. You can't tell me nothing. And we keep, let's just be realistic. Some of these guys that's making this bread is coming from the hood, right? Like, yo, you can't tell me nothing. I'm that guy, so I just think that it's super crazy that they're going through what they're going through. The coaches, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NFL, the NFL, they don't really have this problem because it's too many people on the field for you to, even though some of them do that, like wide receivers, the quarterbacks, but everybody's not doing that. That's why they have holdouts and things like that. But other than that, once they get signed, they're not telling the coach, I'm not doing this or that. Even though we've seen a couple people get mad because they lost a position in football. But that's what I'm saying. You getting all this money is going to your heads, right? When it goes to your head, you think you don't need the instruction. You think you'll need to follow the procedures of the concept of team games. And because of that, there's people losing jobs. It's not just about It's not just about you. If you in that position, you have to hold yourself accountable because you are responsible for certain people that's going to lose their jobs if you don't perform the way that you perform, right? If you got an agent, the agent going to lose his client. His client is now don't have a job, so now the agent going to have to do what he got to do, right? If even coaches have agents. So now y'all made my client look bad. He don't know how to coach the young kids now. He's not. They're gonna say he's not adaptable to the youth of what today's game is about. Now that man's sitting there going crazy, and this is not the first time that happened to him. Right? He's been fired from the Lakers. He was fired from the Cavaliers, and those guys had. Well, I don't remember if LeBron was there when he was coaching Cleveland. But if he was, I'm just saying he would have coached LeBron. I know he was in the Lakers and he coached Kobe, and that didn't turn out well enough and got fired. So it's already bad enough we don't get the opportunities that we're supposed to get. Now, when we get in those positions, we are shortchanging ourselves. And how are we shortchanging ourselves? Because we are sitting there. We are undermining the coaching, the tutelage that we are supposed to get when we on the court or on the field. And so this is the results of it. Now we ain't looking right. Now we looking crazy. Now, you know what I mean? Like that man lost his job. Now he's gonna go start all over. More than likely he'll be an assistant coach somewhere if he gets that position. He might go back to the Golden State Warriors because that's where he came from. And he's credited for winning 3 championships with the Golden State Warriors. So he may have to go backwards just to come back up to where he was just at. So I think, like I said, I know the situation is not looking good for us as far as, we make, nobody's saying we shouldn't make the money, but we also have to understand the responsibilities that come with that money. And so, I hope Mike Brown lands on his feet. I hope De'Aaron Fox really understands what's really going on because, you are responsible. There's been people like If you look at it today, you might hear some people say, you know what, LeBron James is a coach killer, or you know, certain players are coach killers. What do you mean? It means, yo, I don't want this coach to be here. Let's get rid of him, right? You're gonna have that's happens a lot in the NBA. And with that, you have to understand how responsible you are for people and their families because you don't like them. Now, just imagine if you didn't like him because you had a disagreement. It ain't even nothing personal. It's his job to coach you. It's his job to actually to tell you what positions you need to be in to make the play work. But now, because you don't like the way he coached you, I ain't gonna say chastised because that's something different. The way he coached you, you got the power to get a man fired. You got the power to make a man lose his livelihood. That's a lot of power. That's a position that people don't understand. That's something that's so crazy, man. You really don't grasp or understand how much of this power that you have. You got to be responsible with this power. You fight the battles when you fight them. You fight them for the right reasons and not the wrong one. A disagreement, we got to get out we got to get out our feelings. If we trying to win a championship, that's the goal that most of us would want to have. But I don't think these guys have the goal of winning a championship no more. I just think they got the goal of getting that money. And when they get that money, it's like, all right, I got the bread. I ain't got to do nothing else. I can slack off. I ain't got to work as hard in the gym no more. I don't got to go out there and take 1,000 jump shots. I ain't got to go out there and take 500 foul shots to get myself in position. I ain't got to go to training camp. I ain't got to go to mini camp. I ain't got to do none of these things. I got everything I need. And God forbid, if you won a championship and act like that, it's really over because you already hit the top of the top. You a world champion, so you ain't even listening to nobody. But there's dudes out here that ain't even get to the championship game and acting like this. How do I expect you to win? How do I expect you to be the best you can be when you ain't even gonna do none of that? It's just crazy how this occurs. And you know, not to be funny, but we have to do better. We being the brothers in the league, right? We can't keep shortchanging the brothers because you ain't gonna do that. I've never heard nobody do that with Phil Jackson. I never heard nobody just walk out on Greg Popovich. Well, Kawhi sat down, but and you see what they did. They got rid of him quickly. That's how much power that coach has. You see what I'm saying? But the brothers that's in the position, they don't have that position to do that. I'm telling y'all, if y'all pay attention in Milwaukee and see what happens if Doc Rivers don't win, I guarantee you, y'all gonna hear something about Giannis Antetokounmpo is gonna get rid of Doc Rivers. I can tell you that right now. He just got rid of the last coach that was fired, and they was 30 and what was their record? 30-13 and got the man fired. You 30-13 and got the man fired. How you 30-13 and got the man fired? But this is what happens when the stars are brighter than the teachers, when the pupil is outshining the teacher, quote unquote. You know, and that's the thing that we have to worry about. That's the thing that, you know, as much as I love sports and as much as, you know, I get upset every time I watch basketball, I get upset with my brother. I'm like, we was not in that position before. We got cut he got cut for a reason. And I lost out of being an agent for a reason. Right? But at the end of the day, that was a choice by the managerial position. That's not the managerial position ain't get cut. My brother got cut. You see what I'm saying? So all of those things that happened is it's just amazing how much time changed in 30 years and 25 years. That's, if you want to say 20, that's fine too. But The way these guys are moving around and have this authority to get coaches removed is something is very unprecedented. But these are the same guys that won't start their own league. You see what I'm saying? But I understand why now. But that's another another situation for that's another conversation for another day. So Mike Brown, I hope you get on your feet. De'Aaron Fox, I need you to be responsible. But if you guys really take the time, and ladies, y'all take the time to just watch all the star athletes of the team, you can tell by their demeanor who's doing what. Like I said, you'll probably hear about LeBron James. Okay, LeBron, the Lakers just had a trade. They're probably gonna say LeBron James forced their hand to make the trade to get rid of D'Angelo Russell. They'll say anything, right? So you got to look into those things because we understand LeBron has done things like that before, or it has been speculated that he has done things like that before, all because of who he is, his stature, his brand. It goes about that way. So, but like I said, this is mostly a basketball situation. So you would have to look for it like right there, right? Um, it's a lot to come in. Speaking of basketball, uh, the college basketball scene, the NFL, they lost they lost a voice this week. Greg Gumbel, yeah, I almost said Brian Gumbel. That's his brother. Greg Gumbel passed away during the week, right? For me, it was personal. Well, not personal, but to me, he was an inspiring person right before Jimmy the Greek. I mean, not Jimmy the Greek. Irv Cross. We had Bryant and Greg Gumbel on the scenes of local sports, local broadcasting, right? Whether it was college basketball. Well, Greg Gumbel was recently for the college basketball, the NCAA recently, and some NFL games a couple of years ago, right? For me, he was the first black guy that I've seen to do that. And it inspired me to want to be in communications, just to be on television to call the games. Like how I was just doing as the game was playing today. That's the guy who inspired me to do that, right? Trying to go up to Syracuse University to go and do that before things went awry. I wanted to do that because that's the face that I saw. I saw Gumbel on the television calling the calls. You had Pat Summerall, you had Vin Scully, you had Joe Buck, you had all of those old time guys, but it was very rarely a person of color being the broadcaster of choice. You might get one. You might get, like I said, Greg Gumbel on that channel. You might get Brian Gumbel on NBC. You might. It was so limited back then, right? But the way he kept pursuing it, right? He got a job in Chicago because his brothers, listen, go check Chicago. I'm down here, but they got a spot in Chicago. He was out there selling hospital things, like he was like a medical server, selling hospital things, the bedpans and things like that, right? But once he got there, he worked for 50 years on television. 50 years. You can't ask for nothing better than that, right? So they said he lost his battle to cancer. But everybody that watched it, they know his voice. They know what he looks like. They know, teammates spoke very highly of him. And so, with that being said, he lost his family lost a dad, a granddad, a uncle, a, a cousin. They lost a family member. But for us, we're gonna miss that voice with the one shining moment behind, the play calls of college basketball. We're gonna miss all of that, you know. So we say rest in peace to Greg Gumbel. Uh, uh, our condolences to Brian Gumbel and his family. But it just goes to show like time is moving and it waits for nobody. But it also allows you to be appreciative and go for the things that you feel is your dream. Go for your dreams. Go for your desires. Go for the things that you truly want to do in life. He may have just took the job of being a broadcaster because his brother was there, but he made it to be a dream job for him because he did it for 50 years. You know what I mean? So, just continue to pursue the things that you do. You, it like if you understand what it's like to pursue your dreams and then go and do it and make it and then be a household name, right? You can't ask for nothing better, right? Whatever your craft is, right? If you want to start a job and then people come up to you and do those type of things, that's the top of that's the top of your list. He made the top of his list and he inspired a lot of people. If he didn't, he inspired me to want to do this, right? Like not do this like on YouTube, but to call games. Like if you really knew how many times I would sit back and record myself doing a broadcast of a baseball game or a football game or a basketball game and sending it out to somebody just to try to, hey, we hear your voice, we like your voice, would you like to come in for a shot at broadcasting? Say what's up, Nine. And those are the things that, like, you have people that inspire you to do that. And like I said, Greg Gumbel was one of those guys. So it's a tough loss personally for me because, like I said, he inspired me to do things like talk about sports and broadcast sports and things like that. And now, he's not here. But for a lot of people of color, and I don't think I'm stepping out of bounds for saying this, but he's one of the reasons why there's so many people of color doing this. I'm not going to say Stuart Scott or, any of the big ESPN names that was on ESPN, but there's a lot of people that followed behind his footstep because in reality, he was a pioneer of of what he did. And like I said, he lost his battle to cancer. And so, we just giving him his flowers today. So, rest in peace, Greg Gumbel. But other than that, I just wanted to touch on those couple of things, as well as, talk about what happened tonight or today as far as the NFL. The Commanders won their game. They clinched. Saquon Barkley is in the 2,000-yard club. He only needs 101 yards to surpass Eric Dickerson, a thing that hasn't been done for 40 years. Brock Bowers, setting the tight end rookie receiving your record. All of this happened today. So, and like I said, next week we're going to solidify certain things. We know that if the Broncos win, they clinch a playoff spot. We now know if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win their game Sunday, they clinch, right? And so we're just waiting on tomorrow's game between Detroit and the 49ers to get an understanding of what happens in the NFC North. So, with that being said, tomorrow is going to be the last week or the last Monday Night Raw on USA. We'll probably talk about that as well as the game of Detroit and San Francisco as we prepare to get into the final stretch or week 18 of the NFL season. I don't think there's a Thursday. Is there a Thursday game? There may be a Thursday game, but I know Sunday is it. Sunday is going to be the last day. I don't think they have a Monday Night Football. So, we're going to focus on that. We're going to get ready for the playoffs. We're going to get ready for the transitioning of the Raw is Netflix situation. SmackDown will be SmackDown. I believe SmackDown is going to go to 3 hours on Fridays on USA. It's a lot of things happening. We'll update the Netflix card for January 6th as they start to solidify certain places. We already know that Kevin Owens is going to be fighting Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. I don't know how he got. So far, I'll tell you who's in the playoffs. In football, we got we got the Buffalo Bills, we got the Kansas City Chiefs, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, we got the Baltimore Ravens, we got your town. Your town made the playoff, the Houston Texans. We're waiting to see if Denver's going to make it or not in the AFC. In the NFC, we got the Detroit Lions, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, we got the Washington Commanders, we got the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Minnesota Vikings. And we're waiting to see if the Rams and or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get in there. Houston, they are 1, 2. They will be the 4 seed. They will play the 5th seed because they position don't change. They won their division, so they get to host the game. So Houston gonna be that spot for around the weekend of the 13th. It's probably it may be a Saturday or a Sunday game, but Houston will be hosting a playoff game down in Houston. So I'm not sure if it's going to be I'm not sure if it's going to be the Steelers or it could be the Steelers or the Ravens or the Los Angeles Chargers or even the Denver Broncos. But Houston will be hosting a game around the 13th. The 12th, the 13th is a Monday, so the 12th or the 11th. They will be hosting a game. But those are the teams that are in the playoffs so far. Next weekend it'll be we will know for sure who's going to play when and where. They will have the times and things like that after the Sunday night game on the 5th of January. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I should be back. I'll more than likely be back on tomorrow. Like I said, they had a conversation about the Detroit Lions game because that's a thing about first place in the NFC North and the NFC number 1 spot as a whole. So I'll probably be on to talk about that and wrestling. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in 23 hours. This is Mr. 33 signing off from the Channel 9 studios. I'm out.